Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that tries to, cut through the noise and get you really informed on the big topics shaping our world.
That's the goal.
And today, we're plunging into something that's, it's already everywhere, isn't it? Affecting our daily lives.
Absolutely. From healthcare diagnostics
to those financial decisions hitting our wallets.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
It's advancing so fast. Breathtaking, really. Reshaping industries, society.
In ways we're honestly still trying to fully grasp.
Mm-hmm.
But as AI's potential just keeps expanding, so do these critical challenges. Ethical, legal, societal ones.
Right. They go hand in hand.
So this deep dive is all about responsible AI. It's a concept that's not just about building powerful AI.
No, not at all.
But about making sure we build AI right.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, our sort of compass, if you will, is a compendium of responsible AI by Deepak Kumar Jain and his co-authors.
Okay.
Our mission isn't just to, summarize it. We really want to extract those essential nuggets.
The key takeaways.
Yeah, the things that bridge the gap between, theoretical AI ethics and actual practical solutions.
Giving you, the listener, a shortcut to understanding how to navigate all this complexity with integrity.
That's the idea.
And what's really compelling here, as the book aims to show, is how we can actually foster trust and fairness and accountability in AI systems.
It's fundamental.
It really is. Ensuring this tech serves the greater good, enhances human welfare.
All while sticking to high ethical and legal standards.
Designing a future where integrity isn't just bolted on at the end.
No, it has to be fundamental.
Yep.
Right from the start, built into how these systems operate.
That big picture about integrity, it's really compelling.
So, okay, let's dig into the why of it all.
Yeah.
Why is responsibility so crucial in AI right now? What's driving this urgency?
Well, what's fascinating, and the compendium really drives this home, is that AI's impact isn't theoretical anymore.
Right. It's here.
It's direct, it's significant across fields like healthcare, finance, education, you name it.
And these responsible AI practices, they aren't just a nice to have.
No.
They're essential. Essential to prevent potential risks. Things like, deeply embedded bias,
Okay.
privacy breaches, and those often unforeseen consequences that can just ripple outwards.
Unintended consequences, yeah.
Exactly. Because without proactively addressing these ethical concerns, building in those safeguards.
Public trust suffers.
Precisely. Public trust gets hampered. And without trust, you don't get widespread adoption. You don't get the full societal benefits AI could offer.
So it's a blocker, potentially?
It can be. Proactive ethical thinking, like baking in transparency and accountability right from the design phase, that's absolutely key to building that crucial public trust.
That idea of preventing unintended consequences, it really resonates. It makes me wonder then, what are the fundamental ethical principles that the compendium highlights? What guides this kind of responsible development?
So the source lays out 5 core pillars. They're all pretty crucial. Let's start with fairness and bias mitigation. Now, for AI, this isn't just about being fair in some vague sense.
Right, it's specific.
Very specific. The compendium really zeroes in on how AI systems can inadvertently perpetuate or sometimes even amplify existing societal biases.
How does that happen? Through the data?
Primarily, yes.
Yeah.
Especially through the data they're trained on. Think about historical financial records used for credit scoring.
Okay.
They might unknowingly embed gender bias. We saw that pretty famously with the Apple Card controversy back in 2019.
Oh, right. I remember that. Some women reportedly got lower credit limit.
Exactly. And it highlighted this issue. Bias can also creep in from flawed algorithms themselves, or even just how data is selected or measured in the first place. Selection bias, measurement bias.
So it's not always obvious.
Not at all. And the real insight here, the compendium, highlights the real-world impact. Unfair treatment, discriminatory outcomes.
Like what kind of examples?
Well, they cite things like facial recognition programs that have shown lower precision rates for certain demographics.
Okay, yeah. Or the COMPASS system. That's a risk assessment tool used widely in U.S. courts, helping judges with bail and sentencing. Right. It came under fire for racial biases, tending to predict a higher chance of black defendants reoffending compared to white defendants.
Wow. So the stakes are incredibly high.
Incredibly high. The compendium then offers practical mitigation strategies, things like using much more diverse data sets from the start.
Makes sense.
Implementing what are called fairness-aware algorithms, These are tools like demographic parity or equalized odds, specifically designed to try to achieve certain fairness criteria.
Like ensuring equal outcomes across different groups.
Sort of, yeah, or equal error rates, things like that. And crucially, the role of human supervision throughout the process.
Can't just let the machine run wild.
Absolutely not. And having interdisciplinary teams involved, not just tech people.
Okay, so fairness is about actively designing out those hidden biases. How do we then build trust when the system itself might be incredibly complex, maybe even a black box? That leads us right into the next pillar, transparency and explainability, or XAI.
XAI. Okay.
One of the biggest hurdles for trust in AI is exactly that black box problem, not knowing how a decision was actually made.
Right. Why did I get rejected for that loan?
Precisely. So transparency, as the compendium defines it, is about clear, open communication. How the AI works, its data sources, algorithms, decision processes.
Laying it out there.
Yeah. And explainability, XAI, is slightly different. It's about the ability to interpret and understand why an AI system reached a specific outcome, providing clear reasons for its conclusion.
Like a loan rejection example.
Exactly. Why was it rejected? These two, transparency and explainability, are crucial. They build trust, they let users scrutinize decisions, and they hold the systems accountable.
So how do we achieve that technically, especially with really complex AI?
Well, for simpler AI, you might use what are called interpretable models, like decision trees. They're naturally easier to follow. But for those really complex black box models, deep learning, neural networks, the source, points to techniques like LIME and SHAP.
LIME and SHAP.
Yeah, LIME stands for Local Interpretable Model Agnostic Explanations, and SP is Shapley Additive Explanations.
Bit of a mouthful.
Haha. Yeah. But basically, these tools help us understand why a specific AI decision was made by explaining its predictions locally for that instance, rather than trying to unravel the entire complex model globally.
So peeling back a corner of the curtain for a specific case.
Kind of, yeah. The challenge, of course, is always that balancing act. Balancing interpretability with the sheer technical complexity and, frankly, the effectiveness of these sophisticated models. Sometimes the best performing models are the hardest to explain.
That makes sense, trying to pull back the curtain just enough to understand the why. How does accountability and governance build on that to ensure trust is maintained even when, inevitably, things go wrong?
Exactly. That's our third pillar, accountability and governance. This is all about setting up the mechanisms to address and correct any negative impacts or errors from AI systems.
So who's responsible?
That's the key question. It means establishing clear lines of responsibility for the design, the deployment, the outcomes. And this involves everyone, the developers, the organizations deploying the AI, sometimes even the end users.
Okay.
The compendium really highlights the importance of regular audits and evaluation.
Like checking up on the system.
Yeah, systematically assessing if it's complying with ethical standards, identifying risks or biases before they become huge problems.
Proactive checks.
Exactly. And this is also where legal frameworks become really important. Regulations like the EU's GDPR.
GDPR, right?
And the proposed EU AI Act. They emphasize the need for these robust accountability frameworks so people have some recourse if things go wrong.
So it's not just building it right initially, but having a clear plan, a structure for when it doesn't work as intended. And often, AI relies on just massive amounts of data, right? Which immediately brings up big questions around privacy and security, too.
Absolutely critical. That's our fourth area,
Good.
Privacy and security. The compendium emphasizes that privacy isn't just about, keeping secrets. It's about navigating the immense data collection and processing that fuels AI.
The sheer volume of it.
The sheer volume. So key measures highlighted are things like strict compliance with privacy regulations, GDPR, again, the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, getting proper informed consent from users, practicing data minimization.
Only collecting what you actually need.
Exactly. Don't just grab everything. Plus, techniques like anonymization, encryption, and strong access controls.
Standard data hygiene, almost, but supercharged for AI.
Kind of, yeah. And then on the security side, it's about protecting the AI systems themselves from malicious attacks, ensuring they're resilient.
Like hacking the AI.
Or feeding it bad data to manipulate it. So you need things like vulnerability management, adversarial training, which is basically training the AI to resist manipulated inputs and to solid, secure coding practices from the very beginning.
It really sounds like an ongoing arms race on the security front.
It really is. Constant vigilance required.
Okay, so security is about defending against bad actors. Privacy is about protecting the individual's data. What about just making sure the AI itself works reliably and crucially, safely, that it doesn't just malfunction?
That brings us neatly to our final pillar, safety and robustness. This is all about making sure AI systems don't just work under ideal conditions, but work safely and reliably under all sorts of real-world conditions.
Okay.
Safety means minimizing risks and potential harms, ensuring the systems are resilient. Robustness refers more to the capacity of the AI to perform consistently, even when unexpected things happen without causing harm.
So it can handle curveballs.
Exactly. Handle the unexpected gracefully. The compendium stresses rigorous testing and validation. For instance, it points to autonomous vehicles like Waymo's self-driving cars.
Yeah.
They undergo just extensive simulation, loads of field testing, stress testing, trying to ensure they can handle a vast array of real-world scenarios safely.
It's about designing for the unexpected, not just the expected path.
Precisely. You have to anticipate failures and edge cases.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive breakdown of the core principles. Fairness, transparency and explainability, accountability and governance, privacy and security, and safety and robustness.
That's the framework.
Understanding what responsible AI means is one thing, but it really comes alive when we see it in action, doesn't it? What are some real-world examples the compendium uses to illustrate these points, both, the successes and the ethical pitfalls?
Yeah, the case studies are really illuminating. On the success side, the compendium mentions things like IBM Watson for oncology.
Okay, using AI in cancer treatment.
Right. It was designed with ethical oversight from the start, using extensive validation to try and ensure equitable and accurate treatment recommendations across diverse patient groups.
So fairness was built in.
That was the goal. Then there's Microsoft's AI for Good initiative.
No.
Using AI to tackle big global challenges, environmental sustainability, humanitarian crises, but doing it with an explicit focus on transparency and engaging with stakeholders.
Being open about it.
Mm-hmm. And as we just touched on, Waymo's self-driving cars, they prioritize safety through just continuous monitoring, massive simulation, real-world testing. It's a blend of advanced AI and ethical considerations.
Right.
Even something like the Da Vinci surgical system. That's a case where AI acts more as a sophisticated tool, enhancing the surgeon's ability, but the human surgeon maintains complete control. Patient safety and ethical adherence are paramount.
So AI is an assistant, not the decision maker.
In that case, yes. Which manages some of the risk.
Those are really powerful examples of AI potentially serving humanity well. But as you said, there are also significant ethical quandaries.
Yeah.
What are some of the prominent ones highlighted in the compendium, where things have gone wrong or raised serious questions?
Oh, absolutely. The compendium doesn't shy away from the challenges. Take predictive policing tools, like PredPol.
Right, predicting where crime might happen.
Yes. But these tools have raised really serious concerns about reinforcing existing societal prejudices.
Also,
By potentially concentrating police presence unfairly in certain neighborhoods, maybe not because of new crime trends, but because the historical data used to train the system was itself biased, reflecting historical policing patterns. Okay, garbage in, garbage out, potentially amplified.
exactly. Another really notable example is the Compass risk assessment tool, which we mentioned earlier, used in courts to predict recidivism.
The one biased against Black defendants. Yeah, it was heavily criticized for racial biases, showing a higher likelihood of predicting recidivism for Black defendants compared to white defendants, even when controlling for criminal history and other factors.
That's deeply troubling.
It is. And then, circling back to the Apple Card controversy in 2019, that was a really prominent case. Alleged gender bias and how credit limits were assigned.
The algorithm gave women lower limits, reported.
That was the allegation, yeah. And the sheer opacity of the AI's decision-making, that black box issue again, made it incredibly difficult for customers and even regulators to understand why or to dispute the decisions effectively.
So you couldn't even argue against it properly.
It was very hard. And the compendium uses this to really underscore the need for much more stringent regulatory frameworks, especially in sensitive areas like AI and finance. Without them, these problems are just incredibly hard to spot and fix.
Right. So if we try and connect all this to the bigger picture, looking ahead, where is responsible AI heading? Especially as the technology just keeps evolving at this breakneck speed.
Yeah.
It feels like the ground is constantly shifting.
It absolutely is. And the future of responsible AI has to anticipate these emerging ethical challenges. It can't just react.
Like what kind of new challenges?
Well, for instance, with increasingly autonomous systems, think self-driving cars, but potentially much more. Accountability for truly independent decisions becomes incredibly complex.
The trolley problem stuff.
Exactly. Those classic ethical dilemmas, choosing the least bad outcome in a no-win scenario, like deciding who an autonomous vehicle should prioritize in an unavoidable accident. Who makes that call? How is it programmed?
Yeah, tough questions.
Very. Then there's generative AI, things like ChatGPT, image generators.
Huge topic right now.
Huge. And it brings serious concerns about hyper-realistic synthetic media deepfakes and the potential for mass misinformation campaigns.
Yeah.
How do we manage that?
Right. Trusting what you see and read online becomes harder.
Much harder. And looking at the broader societal impact, there's the ongoing concern, the very real concern, of job displacement.
AI taking jobs.
AI-driven automation potentially displacing human workers, especially in sectors like financing, loan officers, bank tellers, data entry clerks. The compendium stresses this isn't just theoretical. It necessitates large-scale reskilling and upskilling initiatives.
We need to prepare people for that shift.
We do. We also can't ignore the environmental impact. Training these massive AI models requires enormous amounts of energy.
The carbon footprint of AI.
Exactly. It's significant, and it calls for much more focus on sustainable AI practices, more efficient models,
Okay.
and perhaps one of the most contentious areas, AI and warfare. The development of autonomous weapon systems, or killer robots,
Yeah.
raises profound questions about human oversight, accountability if they make a mistake, the risk of unintended escalation. It's a minefield, ethically speaking.
That's a lot to consider. A lot of complex, evolving challenges. So, with all that on the horizon, how does the compendium suggest we actually build a robust, forward-looking, responsible AI ecosystem? How do we cope?
It really emphasizes that this has to be a truly collaborative effort. It's not something any one group can solve alone.
Okay.
We need cross-disciplinary partnerships, computer scientists talking to ethicists, lawyers, sociologists. We need public-private partnerships. We need deep community engagement to develop comprehensive guidelines that actually reflect societal values.
Get everyone to the table.
Got to get everyone involved. Education and training are also absolutely vital.
Teaching this stuff.
Yes, integrating AI ethics and responsibility into educational curricula from university down to earlier stages, and offering continuous learning for AI practitioners already in the field to foster a genuine culture of accountability.
Make it part of the job description almost.
Make it part of the mindset. And public engagement is key too. We need transparent communication about how these AI systems work and what they're doing.
Talking to the public.
Actively engaging diverse stakeholder groups, consumers, advocacy organizations, community leaders through things like public forums, feedback mechanisms. We need to ensure AI actually aligns with what society wants and needs.
Make it democratic in a sense.
In a sense, yes. The compendium even touches on how classic ethical theories can help guide us here.
Like philosophy.
Yeah, like utilitarianism focusing on maximizing the overall good, the societal benefits, or deontological ethics focusing on adhering to moral rules and rights, regardless of outcome, and virtue ethics thinking about cultivating moral character in the developers themselves.
Different lenses to look through.
Exactly, providing crucial frameworks. And finally, the regulatory landscape. It's evolving rapidly, as we see with things like the EU AI Act, trying to classify systems by risk level.
Trying to keep up.
The ongoing challenge is always that balance. How do you encourage innovation while ensuring adequate protection? And given AI is global, we desperately need adaptable, harmonized international frameworks, not just a patchwork of different rules.
A huge coordination challenge.
Glasses.
This has been, well, a really fascinating deep dive into what responsible AI truly entails. It's clear, as you said, it's an ongoing journey, isn't it? Not some static destination we'd just arrive at.
Absolutely. It requires constant attention, adaptation, and dialogue.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe.
Indeed. As these AI systems become ever more deeply entwined with the very fabric of our lives, shaping our experiences, our opportunities, the true measure of their success, perhaps, won't just be their raw intelligence or capability.
What will it be then?
Maybe it'll be how effectively they reflect and uphold our shared values, our collective humanity. That might be the real test.